Beijing escalates two-session security, clears 600,000 migrants and police leave cancelled. Mainland implements new express delivery regulations, triggering mass resignation wave. Chinese bank exchanging fake US dollars? Mainland tourists' ugly revelation during trip to the USA. Shocking, report on Shenzhen woman's death after 5 organs unnecessarily removed vanishes. Xi Jinping's bizarre actions draw attention. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Beijing escalates two-session security, clears 600,000 migrants and police leave cancelled. The Chinese Communist Party is set to hold its 2 sessions next week. Dissidents and rights defenders in Beijing and other places have already been put to work or taken on forced vacations by the authorities. Currently, about 600,000 migrants are being cleared out from the main urban areas of Beijing. In addition to Beijing, several other provinces have also activated their stability maintenance mode. Beijing independent journalist Gao Yu confirmed to Radio Free Asia on the 28th that she had been put to work on the 27th. Chinese dissident Ji Feng also posted on social media platform X stating, "It's the tourist season again, and I have to leave Beijing for a trip, taking a temporary break from Twitter. I'll meet up with friends after returning to Beijing." He told Radio Free Asia, "The national security has informed me that I will be taken on a trip until the end of the 2 sessions on the 29th. The relevant departments have already come to my house to notify me. In a few days they will take me out for a trip, which means during Beijing's 2 sessions, 2 of them, national security, will drive me around in Guizhou province. They didn't tell me how long it will be." According to Radio Free Asia, dissidents, rights defenders, and petitioners in Beijing, Hebei, Jiangsu, Wuhan, and Guizhou have been strictly controlled by local police, with some under house arrest, some taken on forced vacations, and others restricted from traveling. The CCP has not only taken stability maintenance measures against dissidents and rights defenders but also seems to distrust the police, strictly limiting their patrol areas to prevent crossing boundaries. Mr. Gao, a Beijing rights defender, told Radio Free Asia that police in various districts of Beijing have cancelled leave during the 2 sessions, and community committee members cooperate with the police patrols, keeping an eye on strangers coming and going. However, police cars in each district of Beijing can only operate within their jurisdiction and cannot leave it. Only blue plate cars from the district public security bureaus can cross districts, and police station cars are also not allowed to leave their jurisdictional areas. It's quite strict. A significant aspect of this crackdown is the establishment of a comprehensive surveillance network, described as a Skynet, which involves checking IDs at major transport hubs and roadways to prevent unwanted travel. Additionally, there are reports of forced trips for dissidents, as well as rumors about the CCP specifically targeting legal professionals, scholars, and activists by restricting their travel. According to Voice of America, Shanghai, Chengdu, Hunan, and other places have also become key areas for the authorities' stability maintenance efforts. Techniques such as phone tapping, intercepting petitioners, and imprisonment have all been employed. It is understood that some petitioners and rights defenders in Shanghai who were intercepted by the authorities were sent to remote islands like Chongqing and Chongming for imprisonment. Mainland implements new express delivery regulations, triggering mass resignation wave. On March 1, the Chinese Communist Party authorities implemented new regulations for the express delivery industry. Some couriers believe that the implementation of the new regulations will lead to a wave of resignations among couriers, potentially leaving the industry in a situation where there are no couriers available to make deliveries. This news surged to the top of Baidu's hot search list on March 1. The new regulations stipulated by the Chinese Communist Party authorities for the express delivery industry are as follows. Couriers are not allowed to place parcels in smart parcel lockers or express service stations without the consent of the customers. Violators will face severe penalties, with fines ranging from 10,000 yuan, approximately $1,400 to 30,000 yuan, approximately $4,200. Over the past decade in mainland China, aside from a few express delivery companies like JD.com and SF Express, most express delivery services have not achieved door-to-door delivery. Since couriers are paid per package, many choose to save time by directly placing parcels in Fengchao Express cabinets or Cainiao Post Station. While this practice has improved the efficiency of couriers, it has caused dissatisfaction among some consumers who have to spend extra time and energy to pick up their packages, and sometimes even incur additional costs. The new regulations implemented on March 1 aim to avoid this situation, but they also introduce another problem: couriers will have to spend more effort on door-to-door deliveries, which will significantly reduce their delivery efficiency. Moreover, couriers will face a huge risk of being complained against and receiving hefty fines. Most importantly, due to the decline in delivery efficiency, their income will also significantly decrease. Faced with this situation, many couriers are choosing to resign. An anonymous courier interviewed by the Mainland media New Weekly stated, "If it really goes according to these standards, I'll have to change jobs. The earnings are not even enough to cover the fines." A courier did the math, based on 0.5 yuan, about 7 cents, per delivery, earning only 50 yuan, around $7, for 100 deliveries a day. That's without receiving complaints, being assessed, or any other impacts. The courier expressed that once fined 10,000 yuan, approximately $1,400, according to the regulations, they would definitely quit. Land Media Hot News revealed that due to the resignation of couriers, some express stations are already unable to operate normally, with a significant backlog of parcels accumulating. Facing this change, many netizens expressed their support, believing that express delivery should indeed include door-to-door service. Leaving parcels at the door or in the corridor without even notifying the recipient is irresponsible and can easily lead to disputes. Some netizens believe it's understandable to place parcels at transfer stations for self-collection if they don't have much time to wait for deliveries at home. Others suggest that merchants should offer a door-to-door delivery option during the purchase process, with a clear price for the service. This would be convenient for everyone. There are also netizens who believe that this is the result of chaotic competition in the Chinese express delivery industry. Some said, the overall reason is still the chaos in the express delivery industry, with malicious competition driving down prices. It's the grassroots who suffer. In the end, will only the state-operated postal express remain? Chinese bank exchanging fake US dollars? Mainland tourists' ugly revelation during trip to the USA. A tourist from mainland China, claiming to be visiting the USA, shared a video stating that the US dollar bills she exchanged at the Bank of China were identified as counterfeit during her spending in the USA. She expressed that the responsible officials at the Bank of China should take accountability for this, as using counterfeit money abroad not only embarrasses herself but also tarnishes the reputation of her countrymen. In the video, this Chinese tourist showed the US dollar bills she exchanged at the Bank of China. The lady held two $100 bills, both of which were editions published before 2009. On one of the counterfeit bills, several indicators of being fake were visible. She explained, "The waiter told me that under normal circumstances, they wouldn't use a pen, likely a counterfeit detection pen, to mark the money. Instead, they would touch the 100 in the lower right corner. Real US dollars have a slight bump in that area, but my bill, the counterfeit, had a lot more bumps." The lady also stated, "I am very angry about this because, after all, I trusted the Bank of China. As the responsible party, shouldn't the bank verify the authenticity of the money for us? It's not just about me traveling, going to another country and spending counterfeit money is embarrassing for our country." Currently, it is still unknown whether the lady's revelation about the counterfeit dollars is true. As early as 2016, media reports revealed that several bank branches in Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen frequently faced shortages of US dollar reserves. According to a previous report by China Business News, banks in first-tier cities with significant volumes of foreign currency transactions for residents, such as the Bank of China, China Construction Bank, and China Merchants Bank, mostly required at least a 2-day advance booking for the exchange of more than $5,000 at a time. Due to an increase in booking requests, some banks even required appointments for withdrawals exceeding $1,000. Shocking, report on Shenzhen woman's death after 5 organs unnecessarily removed vanishes. On February 28, a Weibo influencer named Deng Fei, who had previously followed the Iron Chain Woman case, published a letter from a netizen in Shenzhen. The letter accused that the sender's healthy mother went for a checkup in 2018 at the Shenzhen branch of the University of Hong Kong's hospital and was admitted for dilated bile duct reasons. The normal range for a bile duct is 6 to 8 millimeters, whereas her mother's checkup result was 8 millimeters, within the normal range. After being admitted, the hospital conducted various examinations on her mother, including an ERCP test after making a small incision in the pancreas, and found no tumor cells. However, the hospital refused to discharge her mother and then, without the pancreatic incision healing, performed a PET-CT scan. They deliberately diagnosed a small group of high metabolism caused by the pancreatic incision, commonly known as a false image, as pancreatic cancer. The doctors deceived the family members, who lacked medical knowledge, into signing the informed consent for the pancreatic cancer surgery. The surgery lasted over 10 hours, during which they removed 5 healthy organs: her mother's pancreas, gallbladder, spleen, duodenum, and part of the stomach. Due to the loss of too many digestive organs, her mother's body could not metabolize normally. Coupled with multiple complications from the surgery, her mother died shortly after. Her daughter, Huan Jia, filed a lawsuit with the Shenzhen court in August 2019. She accused that just because of a checkup, her mother lost her life. She particularly emphasized that after the surgery, the hospital did not show the removed organs to the family as required, leaving the family unaware of the real whereabouts of these healthy organs. This statement implies a suspicion that there was a hidden agenda behind the surgery. On the 29th, the official media the Beijing News reported on the matter. However, the report disappeared from the newspaper's website just 10 hours after it was published. Her daughter, Huan Jia, said that she only learned about the absence of any pancreatic tumors or lesions in her mother either in the pre-surgery examination or during the surgery's pathological tests, when she went to print the medical records after her mother's death. Consequently, she filed a civil lawsuit for medical malpractice with the Fujian District Court in Shenzhen. The judicial appraisal provided by the family indicated that, given Zhang Yuo's advanced age and history of hypertension, performing a total pancreatectomy without clear histological evidence of a malignant tumor caused significant trauma and severely impacted her overall nutrition metabolism and electrolyte balance. The University of Hong Kong Shenzhen Hospital's fault had a major causal relationship with Zhang Yuo's adverse treatment outcomes, with a responsibility degree of 61% to 90%. However, the University of Hong Kong Shenzhen Hospital objected, arguing that Zhang Yuo's death was due to unexplained liver failure and that the main complication of a total pancreatectomy is not liver failure, thus her death had no direct causal relationship with the surgery. Despite the hospital's defense, the Shenzhen Intermediate Court ruled in November 2023 for the hospital to fully compensate the family, awarding over 620,000 yuan, approximately $86,000. Xi Jinping's bizarre actions draw attention. Since Xi Jinping fully assumed control, there has been a fundamental shift from the Hu Jintao era's 9 dragons managing the waters, where 9 members of the Politburo Standing Committee each managed different aspects of governance. Xi Jinping has heavily pushed for what he calls institutional reforms. The functions of the State Council have significantly deteriorated, and everything must follow the Central Party, which now effectively means Xi Jinping himself. The power and status of other members within the Central Leadership Corps, including the Politburo Standing Committee members, have continually weakened. On February 26, the party secretaries of the CCP Central Secretariat, the State Council, the NPC, and the CPPCC, namely Kai Chi, Li Chang, Zhao Leji, Wang Huning, with Ding Xuexiang as the Deputy Party Secretary of the State Council, are required to submit written job reports to Xi Jinping. Aside from Li Shi, the other 6 members of the Politburo Standing Committee have also submitted their reports to Xi Jinping. Zhong Yuan, a commentator for Epoch Times, mentioned that Li Shi had reported at the beginning of the year's Central Commission for Discipline Inspection plenary session, and Xi Jinping's presence and speech meant Li Shi also submitted a written job report to Xi Jinping. Li Yuanhua, an Australia-based scholar, discussed Xi Jinping's desire to centralize power, emphasizing that economic development no longer dictates policy as it once did, leading to a situation where flattery becomes a means of gaining favor. The shift towards autocracy is seen as a response to economic challenges and a personal fear of losing power, which could have dire consequences for Xi and his family. Jonathan Liu added that Xi's lack of security stems from economic decline and public discontent, notably the White Paper Revolution. Xi's response has been to consolidate control over the party, government, and military, aiming to become the sole authority and creating an emperor-like structure within the CCP. This centralization of power is driven by Xi's concern over internal threats and his desire to ensure that only those who follow his orders remain in power. On February 21, the CCP introduced an updated version of the regulations on CCP inspection work, placing a greater emphasis on the concept of political supervision by higher-level party organizations over their lower-level counterparts. The central aim of these revised regulations is to staunchly support Xi Jinping's paramount position within the party and its unified command structure. Notably, the amendments have eliminated several previously highlighted concerns that inspection teams were tasked with monitoring, such as lip service, clique and gang formation for personal interests, factionalism, corruption, bribery, nepotism, and election-related malpractices. The focus of the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection, CCDI's inspection efforts has shifted towards assessing the loyalty of officials to Xi Jinping, marking a significant pivot in the objectives of party oversight. Jonathan Liu highlighted that Jiang Zemin's era was characterized by widespread corruption, while Xi Jinping's anti-corruption campaign primarily targets political adversaries, using the campaign to solidify his control by eliminating factions within the Communist Party, including those loyal to Jiang and the Youth League. Despite the campaign, corruption persists due to the lack of real oversight in a one-party system. Xi has consolidated power, positioning loyalists within the Politburo Standing Committee, and signaling to officials that loyalty ensures tolerance of some level of corruption. Significant governmental bodies now report directly to Xi, indicating a centralization of authority and bypassing other high-ranking officials, such as Li Chang. This move reflects Xi's mistrust even towards his own appointees, demonstrating his preference for direct control and signaling his position as the ultimate authority within the party. Li Yuanhua criticizes Xi's management style as distrustful and unprofessional, emphasizing Xi's reluctance to delegate and his narrow-minded approach to governance. Jonathan Liu further observes that Xi's direct intervention in affairs often leads to failure, with his leadership causing confusion and inactivity among officials, as they await his decisions on matters before proceeding. This centralization of power and emphasis on loyalty above all highlight Xi's main concern with maintaining control and avoiding challenges to his authority. Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.